There have been 500 reported deaths in Iowa due to the coronavirus. If you aren't an essential worker making essential trips, you should be staying at home right now. I'm sure you're all ready for our lives to be back to normal, and so am I, but at this moment, our biggest defense mechanism over the coronavirus is to stay at home. It can be mentally draining to be stuck at home all day, but the outcome could potentially be worth it. And today I'm going to be explaining to you why you should stay at home during this time as much as possible, as well as other precautions you can take to stay safe and healthy. So staying at home, as we all know, COVID-19 is new and we know very little about it. There's no vaccine, there's no way for you to treat yourself, there's no self-treatment really. We don't know what to do or anything about it. So prevention of this virus is to just stay at home, stay around the members of your household, try not to go around friends, try not to go out into the public just as much as possible. Some reasons that you should stay at home are that we want the virus to stop spreading, and if you stay at home and don't go around other people, you're not around other people to get sick, so you're essentially preventing getting sick, or if you are sick, getting people sick. Also, another thing to think about is the elderly people, the pregnant women, babies, people with underlying medical conditions, and just really all people in general. We should all really worry about everyone's health and safety, and we need to be thinking about just everyone, including ourselves, and not be selfish about this. We need to go about it and use the proper resources and do everything that is recommended. That's what I believe. There are a few other good ways that you can do things to help prevent becoming exposed to the virus and exposing people to it. Some other safety measures that you can take are you could wear a mask anytime you're out in public. I actually have a mask right here. My mom made this. It looks kind of weird because it's not on, but there's my mask. And I actually also have some gloves as well. So you could wear a mask and gloves out in public. If you're going to the store, you would want to wear your gloves because you're going to be touching all over things. Same with the gas station, you would want to wear your gloves, but you would also want to wear your mask. For both of those things, you would want to wear both, is what I would recommend. Also, another thing is you want to wash your hands so frequently, so often. Your hands are going to be so dry, or should be so dry because of how often you've been washing. So you should be washing your hands after you change the garbage, after you use the bathroom, after you get home from going out, after literally doing anything, touching any surface, anything, anywhere, any person, you should wash your hands after. According to the CDC's 2020 article, When and How to Wash Your Hands During the Coronavirus Pandemic, keeping hands clean is especially important to help prevent the virus from spreading. Now, another thing I want to talk about is social distancing. You should stay at least 6 feet or more apart from people in the public at all times. According to the CDC's 2020 article, Social Distancing, Quarantine, and Isolation, keeping space between you and others is one of the best tools we have to avoid being exposed to this virus and slowing the spread. And I actually agree. That is one of the big things that we can do. I say just try to stand as far away from people as possible. That's the safest thing to do, and that's what I do. Yeah. So now that you know the precautions you can take to fight this virus, I want to share something personal. So I actually have been personally affected by the virus, kind of. My dad's buddy actually passed away from COVID-19. He was only 42 years old, and it the man up. He had underlying health conditions, and he ended up relying 100% on a ventilator to breathe. But his dad ended up having to make the hard decision to take him off of life support just a few days ago. He might not have ever gotten sick if the place that he had worked at would have shut down for a bit, maybe like a couple of weeks, just to take precautions and keep everybody healthy. But they didn't do that at first, so they weren't providing proper protection. And according to Eller's 2020 article titled "Number of Workers with Coronavirus at Waterloo Tyson Plant More Than Double the Earlier Figure," more than 1,000 workers at the Tyson Foods plant in Waterloo have tested positive for the coronavirus. So 1,000 workers tested positive for the coronavirus just at the place that they worked at. So that's how he got sick. And I just think that it's time for us all to come together and fight this virus off together. So I'm sure of you hearing this being said by so many people, but you should always wear a mask and gloves, and you should always wash your hands, which if you're washing your hands, you should do it correctly. Use warm water and wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap, lather, rinse, dry, and do it again whenever you need to wash them again. There's really no point in washing your hands if you're going to do it wrong. Same with wearing masks. Masks go over your nose and mouth and behind your ears, not under your nose or above your mouth or cut or with gloves. I see people with their gloves on in the store touching on their phone, touching on their face. That really defeats the purpose of using gloves, because you touched all over wherever you touched and now you're touching your face. It's just, but anyways, you should always wear your gloves when going inside somewhere that's public. Wash your hands, and most importantly, stay at home as often as possible. I want you to think about what I told you the next time that you're going out during this pandemic. And as the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres said, we are in this together and we will get through this together. Thank you.